Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about routine and about how routine and habit and structure and repetitiveness and all of the other things that maybe seem boring to a lot of people and maybe seem like the defining character of autism and to other people. Like, this routine is a tool that is there for a reason. It's powerful for a reason. People always talk about it in relation to autism for a reason. It provides a level of comfort that doesn't just happen when being reactionary, when being responsive to whatever your day throws at you. There are things you can do that just make every day better. There are things you can do repeatedly that make every day lots better. And there's things that you can just intentionally structure and plan out and schedule that have just cascading impacts on your day in general. Just so many different impacts that you don't expect and that keep coming and keep producing down the road long after you've ever you're done putting any input or effort into it. And these are the things we're going to talk about today. So routine. The number one benefit you're going to see from just intentionally focusing on your routine is the amount of bandwidth that it creates for you. And I don't just mean time in the day, but I mean like mental bandwidth. So there are a lot of things that we put our brain energy into, whether it be what to eat today, what shirt to wear, when we are going to leave the house, and in what order we're going to make stops during that trip, and all of these different things that we can put some intention and some work into to figure out after several repetitions, day after day after day, what we can do that'll make them better. That we don't have to eat things we don't enjoy, and that's an easy one to fix because our senses tell us this isn't enjoyable, this is not good for you. So the taste is one thing that we generally pick up on fairly quickly, and many people on the spectrum have very specific tastes or very repetitive tastes, and sometimes you can seem rigid, but often it's not that they have a very picky taste buds. It's that it's a comfortable food that they know exactly what they're going to get. People talk about McDonald's, you always get the same thing every time. That's kind of how you have to look at routine. You know what you're going to get. You don't have to stress about what you might get, and you don't have to make backup plans because you've done it enough times to know that this is the routine that works and this is what you can do, and that if this happens, do this, if this happens, do this. And that's just kind of the way you free up mental space. So for example, when I wake up every morning, I do these same things. I wake up, I go and make my coffee. Yes, I'm a first thing in the morning coffee person. I'm not one of those people who are like willpower, you need to wait and have coffee later or skip caffeine. If coffee helps, have coffee. If it doesn't, don't have coffee. But I have coffee first thing in the morning. I make my way back into my room and I turn on generally YouTube, but I turn on something informative. I don't watch the news. I've learned that is just going to bring negativity to my day and it's going to bring me down. And so I don't watch the news. I'll usually watch something having to do with photography, videography, with camping, the outdoors, just something I'm interested in, but usually something educational because I don't know, it's more interesting to me. And I'll take my coffee and I'll sit down next to my yoga mat and I'll just start stretching. I've been trying to make the habit change my routine to where I spend more time on the floor, because I know as adults, as we age, especially for people who have desk-based jobs and screen-based, monitor computer-based jobs, we get some pretty bad posture issues and things like that. So I know the more time I can spend on the floor, the better I'll be, because when I'm on the floor, that is a trigger that I use that keeps me stretching and moving. And so I pick a couple of different positions and I'll just kind of sit there and hold them, or I'll do some active stretching. But I do that every single morning because I noticed that when I'm in a hurry, when I don't have time to do some kind of physical activity, that's when I tend to have less enjoyable days. That's when my brain chemistry becomes I don't want to say an obstacle. It's when I really just am not at my ideal brain chemistry. So I make time for that time. I make time to exercise and to stretch, and even more specifically with this point, I will make time throughout the day. So I don't just do like a 60-minute workout or something. I'll do my workout in the morning and it may last me half an hour. It depends on where my energy's at. But I know that before my next, somewhere between my sprint sessions, I'm going to do another 15 minutes of some kind of stretching. I do, push-ups every few hours. And this isn't because I'm like trying to like get jacked and be on the cover of Men's Health or something ridiculous. Not that that's ridiculous, but that's not a goal of mine. It's because I want to stay in shape, and I know that when I do and when I exercise and do the things that make me healthier, my brain chemistry is in a better place, and it allows for me to have a better day, and it just puts me in a better baseline to attack my day. So I intentionally plan that into every day, and I've made it flexible in small chunks to be able to fit into any part of my day. So if I'm having a very stressful day, I can, even if I need to leave the office and go lock myself in a bathroom and do push-ups for 10, do 20 push-ups or something, I know a little bit can go a long ways, and I plan for that. And so let's look at another example is food. So we kind of already talked about this. People have very repetitive food a lot of times when they're on the spectrum because they have things that they know are comfortable, and they know things will be the same. They know if they stick to the thing they have, they will get the same thing. They'll put it in their mouth and the same thing will happen. It'll take the same amount of time to cook. It's the same effort. And all of those variables, it's not just flavor, it's not just texture, it's all of the variables that go into the thought of putting a chicken nugget in your mouth. Like they involve work, they involve thought, they involve shopping, they involve, sauce to go with it, a napkin, all of these things become part of your habit. And so you have to realize that habits and structure and routine, it goes deeper than you think. It digs much deeper than you think, but that's a good thing, because when you're doing all of these things and you notice, for example, it's a really common experience for people to drive, and on the way home, they're just like realize 5 minutes have passed and they're way further and they don't remember how they got there. It's not because you weren't paying attention. To an extent, like you're consciously, you may not have been thinking about the road and driving, but your mind has done the steps to go from hungry to chicken nugget or whatever your favorite food may be, from hungry to pizza, from hungry to steak dinner, from hungry to salad. Your mind has made those steps and those connections, all of the things that need to happen in order to get you fed, so many times that it's so comfortable doing it. Or wow, that phone call really broke my thread. Okay, here we go. I found it. So your mind has done the drive home so many times, so repetitive, so it doesn't have to think about it anymore, and to very little. It can do it to the point where you don't even remember being there 5 minutes ago, but you literally just went through the steps because it's so light, it's so little on the brain that it's just autopilot. And that can be something that cuts in the wrong direction as well. For example, a lot of us will get into the same routine and we'll just keep doing things that don't serve us long after, we'll keep doing them long after they stop serving us. And so you have to really be intentional, and you have to assume that every day, your perfect routine, your perfect day, every day it changes slightly. But it's something that you can keep up with, and you can keep chasing, and you can get very close to on a very regular basis if you invest the time. And like I said earlier, when you invest the time and you invest the effort, you get it back significantly greater amounts. So showing up and putting in the time to say, this doesn't work for me, this does. This made my day better, this made my day worse. I can do this or I can do this, but if I do this one, it's going to take this much bandwidth. And if I do this one, I'll have a little bit of energy left. And you have to make sacrifices like that. You have to prioritize things. You have to decide that the thing that matters most is the thing that you're going to put your energy into, while also juggling and, all of the other things, because most of us, you don't have that kind of flexibility. All the things need to be done, even when there's something super hard that needs to be done right now. So you've got to figure out how to manage that. And the more you can do in advance, the better off you'll be. Anything reactionary is going to do a lot less for you than the things you plan in advance to intentionally enhance your day every day. So consider that when you're looking at your planner and you're looking at what's coming tomorrow, and maybe, I don't know if you're a nighttime journaler or a morning journaler or not at all. I suggest, if you don't do any journaling, even if it's just like a mind dump kind of thing, where you just, I love that in the morning. I'll just write down whatever comes out, and then it just gets rid of some of the noise. But it's super helpful. But whenever you're doing this and you're looking at your day for tomorrow, try to think about that. Try to think intentionally, what is one thing I can do that will make it a little better than today was, that'll make tomorrow a little better than today. And you'll start to think about that without having to plan time for it, without having to make an effort, and you'll just start to notice things. The more you think about that kind of thing, the more you notice them without trying. So you'll be like, oh wow, that didn't work nearly as well as I thought. I bet if I did this, that would help. Or, that was super effective. I wonder why that worked better than yesterday. And you repeat. And that's how some of the most productive people in the world get so much done, is because they realize what works and what doesn't, and they have things that they can really intentionally budget out their day, some of them down to the minute. I don't like that kind of control, but I'll budget my day by sprints. I've got a few sprints to work on these few projects, and then I've got this other time that will work to go handle the low bandwidth stuff, or the repetitive, recurrent tasks I can do at this time when I know I have a little bit less power and I'm not very good at sprinting on big projects then. But you just keep shaping. You keep shaping and reshaping until you have something that reliably produces incredible results and amazing days and just a better feeling, because the amount of empowerment that provides, like the agency that you the confidence that you build from just seeing how much you can affect when you really try, it spreads. It's contagious, not just to other areas of your life, but even to other people around you. Like, they'll start to notice, and they'll start to ask you, hey, what are you doing that's how are you getting all these things done? And it's not anything secret. It's just better planning, better routine. And now I will admit, like, I have a deep dive mind. I can pick a task and go to the bottom of YouTube in a couple of days, or searching page 33,000 of Google search results. Like, I will run a thing down, but like, when it comes to the things that are actually useful and what I implement, you can pick them up from a handful of tips, like this one, like these videos. Like, there's not that much to do. It's just in taking the time to do it. And that's the biggest thing, making the decision that this is worth it, that this investment, that taking a little bit of time off of your sitting on the couch, but putting effort into tomorrow will pay off significantly. And once you've made that decision and you've kind of accepted that growth mindset as being a permanent thing all the way throughout your life, you're gonna be amazed by the results. Thanks for hanging out with me and hearing me ramble on. Enjoy the day.